I just wanna ball in the rave, broad in the way, and I'ma take my shot. Pray to God if it all in the day, and the daughter with the paper, fuck her head to the day I die. Yeah. For what them bitches say, for what them niggas doing. For you again.
Yo, what's going on, world? This is your boy Najee from rapradar.com. And today, man, I always like to say I got a special guest, man. Special might be an understatement right here, man. This brother seated to my left, man, this is legendary status, man. This is king status, you know what I mean? I got the king of the South himself, my man, Mr. T.I. What's up, brother?
What's going on, G? How you doing?
Everything is good. How are you, man?
Man, I'm coolin'.
Yeah, yo, we're in a space right now, like, this is the 10th album, dog. Like, people don't get there, you know what I mean? Like, this is a special thing. How does it just feel knowing that you've reached this milestone of 10 albums?
It's a blessing, it's a blessing. I think that, just for us to be able to share our worlds for 10 entire albums and it still resonates to people,
Right.
It's pretty dope.
Right. Does the process feel the same for you as far as creating, like, you know what I mean? Because after a while, you feel like you run out of shit to talk about, like.
Nah, because life is always happening around us, you know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking about my opinions on the things that go around, that's going on around me today. And I guess at this position, from this perspective, it's cool because you also get to compare it with how you used to think, you know what I'm saying? And how this perspective compares to that one. What
do you think is the biggest difference between how you used to think or the creation process back then as opposed to right now?
Patience. You know what I'm saying? Allowing the opportunity for things to unfold before I can get a full assessment, instead of just like responding to the right now, the instinctive response.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That the body gives without us even applying any strategy.
Now this took a while to kind of get here. I mean, I've heard you speaking on interviews about Dime Trap for a while. Then we had the Justice or Else kind of came through, and
Us or Else.
Oh, Us or Else. Excuse me, Us or Else. I'm sorry about that. But it's like it's been a while. Like, what experiences, I guess, just life did you have to live to kind of get to this point?
So much. I think for a minute, man, it was really, I was just making songs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find, it took time for me to actually find the meaning or to have the experiences that would inspire the songs that have the meaning that these have right now on this particular project.
Okay. Now, I know we got the Escape the Trap pop-up that you've been doing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's kind of been hyped for that. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what exactly is it? It's like the escape room, kind of?
Well, it is an escape room, but it's a part of a trap music museum. And it is presently open, and it is to celebrate and acknowledge all significant contributors to the culture.
Is it like trap culture or trap music?
Trap music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trap music. It's information that stems from trap culture.
Yeah.
And basically how the two associate or how they may not associate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what is it like? Is bricks in here? You got to get out the room clean? Is that what's going on in the trap escape room? Like, is that big sips out real quick?
It's authentic and true to the culture. Let's just say that.
All right. So, but how do we, like, we always kind of get the battle between, glorification versus reflection, right? Like, people always speak about like, us, as a culture kind of speaking about the trap and, kind of makes young kids want to get involved. Like, how do you kind of resolve that battle?
Well, I think that, you have to also give, first of all, a full view of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? It's not all glamour, it's not all glitz, it's not all fly and fancy.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And I think another thing that people have to consider is this is our pain. You dig what I'm saying? This is a tragic era that we were able to overcome, endure, withstand, and we lived through it. Let's just take a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's take a Vietnam veteran, and he's going to celebrate the fact that he made it out of a horrendous environment. You know what I'm saying? People were dying all around him.
Right.
Some people he know and love didn't make it. So if he stand right here today and he's standing with somebody else who went through what he went through in Vietnam,
Then they're gonna relate.
he gonna relate. He gonna say they're gonna celebrate. They're gonna talk about what it was like then, and you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And they not celebrating murder. They not celebrating the invasion of innocent land. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of it, but that ain't what they celebrate.
Right.
They celebrating the fact that they made it up out of that shit, you know, when a lot of people didn't.
That's a fact.
So I think that's the same way it is for us with trap music.
Right. So how do you, I mean...
And nobody can tell us how to celebrate our pain. Can't nobody tell us that. You didn't go through it, you can't tell me how to celebrate my pain, because I made it through this. You didn't.
That's a fact. All right. But I mean, you, like you said, you mentioned just being able to kind of get all aspects. You've been, since the beginning, you know what I mean, always kind of showing that. I know on this project, the Dime Trap that we got coming out this Friday, you got a record, Big Old Drip. I like that. That joint got some soul in the hook, the Big Old Drip. I like that joint.
Right on,
so there's a line you said where it's like, you know, I'm selling poison, my stomach growling, and, you know, but I wonder if, you know, God, if that matters to God.
Yeah.
That's kind of like resolving the issues between, you know, like just kind of selling and hurting the community versus like what I'm going through. How do you resolve that, like as a hustler, like, you know what I mean? Like just
well, I think that was reflection. You know what I'm saying? That was reflection. That's the perspective that you get after you've gone through it and had a chance to like sit with it, and you've lived life a little longer to see how valuable life is. And you can reflect back, you know, and I mean, being honest about it, those are things that cross my mind later on in life.
Not at the time.
Not
that
at
you
the
was
time.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I think the line is, I'm out here pushing poison, wonder if it mattered to God.
Yeah.
That I didn't have no hot water and my stomach was growling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, does that matter? You know what I'm saying? If I'm out here, I feel like crack for a lot of us, man. It created a lane of independence, a lane of self-sufficiency that we didn't have as a people.
Right.
We just didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Great Depression was over with, and there was all of these programs and grants from the government to help white people with farming and the industrial. They got home
New
loans.
Deal and all that.
We didn't get none of that.
Right.
Crack was our New Deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it weren't for crack, then Eazy-E wouldn't have had enough money to put Dr. Dre in the studio. Dr. Dre's now a billionaire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I mean, like that I feel like that's a true example of what the devil mean for bad, God used for good. I think all of that, all the negativity, all the pain, all the death, all the prison, all of that shit that came out of it, it still brought something positive because we used those experiences to change the course of living for ourselves and for our families.
So how does somebody who, like, you know, who's in the hood, like you said, we don't have these resources, you know, the schools ain't great, they don't got nothing other than, like, you know, like Big always say, either you sling, rock, you got a wicked jump shot, like what's the, why you think? How?
It's so different now. You can really, man, this kid's making thousands of dollars just standing in line for tennis shoes.
That's a fact. You saw that?
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
That's $1 billion industry, just the resale of tennis shoes. So you got that, you got, you know what I'm saying? It's tons of shit to sell now, tons of ways to sell it.
Right.
Uber, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like legitimate side hustles like
Back
that.
into
You know what I'm saying? Even now with the little scooter thing, Bird or whatever this shit is. You know, it's motherfuckers who got them get those scooters and keep them fixed, and you know, it's like real.
Yeah, it's a lot of different hustles.
All I did was sell candy and mow lawns and rake leaves and shit.
Right.
There's way more options right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that was our way for that period, that era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right now, man, it's and also, man, the drug game was the first game we could get in. You know what I mean? We didn't settle on that shit just because, you know, that's what we wanted to do. Like, this is the first thing that I could walk outside my door and have access to right here, right now. I could change how things are, how my world looks around me right now with this.
That's a fact. Right.
And as soon as we created opportunities to find ways to do something else, you know, niggas didn't say, no, I'm staying down with the crack when the credit card scam started going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas switched to the hustle. They were going with the money.
So and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so I mean, we could see that was like, that was due to a lack of options and opportunities.
I mean, it's interesting. You've always kind of been open, like I said, since the beginning. I mean, one of the records of trap music is, you know, we hear it's about 15 years anniversary. And I know when I heard the Doing My Job record, that changed the game. Like, it changed the perspective, because it was like you sort of humanized, right? Like the drug game, like, yo, like, I'm not out here trying to hurt you. And like, you don't really get that perspective from a lot of hustlers, right? Like you said, like, you didn't care at the time, but it's kind of like you had this mindset and mentality, like, yo, like, you know, this is just how I'm trying to be. Where did that come from? Just
because, man, I have a family, and I respect. I was raised to first of all respect my elders, like the people I'm around. So although I didn't live in the trap where I sold, you know what I'm saying, where I did my thing. I didn't have an apartment there, but I would see like the mamas walk past us, kind of toot their nose up. You know, some of them kind of engaged with us, but others who didn't really know us, they already formed an opinion just because. When, like, for real, listen, lady, if I don't do this, ain't nobody doing nothing for me. I'm out here trying to, you know, do the best I can as a 15, 16-year-old orphan, if you will. You know, a lost boy, a castaway. So, I mean, shit, I ain't breaking in your house. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody out here did nothing felonious while we was out here on duty. Wasn't no cars broken in, wasn't no houses burglarized. We did our thing, but we maintained like I guess,
like a code. That's just
the
honor,
code,
like
the ethics, the honor for the area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like it ain't really like that no more. Like, now it's just, the young niggas don't even care now no more. It's just.
And that's why that lady had no business turning her nose up at me, because it could have been a lot worse. The devil you know is better than the one you don't.
That's a fact, man. All right, I hear that. So now, like I said, all right, we gotta get into this Dime Trap. I got a chance to listen to the album. We dived in. Like I said, you got some shit on there, and obviously the first thing that already stands out is Dave Chappelle is on it, right? Like, as soon as you go in, you know, Dave is kind of setting giving the pretense, and he's all over the album. What was, I guess, the most memorable experience between you and Dave just being in the studio? Because that gotta be, I've been around Dave before. Like, that dude is legit funny in real life type of dude. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, it's always an experience though. That's what led to, you know what I'm saying, us doing this for the project. Like, every time we kick it, it's always like this whimsical, masterful, epic evening. You know what I'm saying? It ends up being a blur by the next morning, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something to remember. And I just asked them to get on, and you know, we had a few more of those evenings. You know, in LA and Atlanta and New York and New Orleans and Philly. Like, we just kick shit all around the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What was the, I guess, initial kind of, like, what kind of drew you guys in? Like, I mean, I understand you guys had a relationship, but as far as like, yo, him getting on the album and you kind of wanting that, like, what was the catalyst for that happening?
I mean, we had high key, like, intellectual conversations about very regular ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both have assumed a certain high level of esteem and success, but we work hard at keeping our feet firmly planted on the ground. We understand that take effort. You know what I'm saying? If we wanted to, we could just get carried away and lost in the sauce and
and just be on all your shit.
Because we rich enough, we famous enough, we can go and seclude ourselves and you know, and just get lost in a whirlwind of luxury if we wanted to. But we both make a conscious, like, effort to keep our feet on the ground. And the act of doing that is some shit that ain't a lot of motherfuckers who at our level of success,
really
our level of life, can actually relate to. So, like, when you see motherfuckers who kind of relate to the shit you relate to, you bond with them. And I feel like that's where the bond started.
All right. That was dope.
I remember Dave, man, way back, man, when he first left the Chappelle show, man. I got a picture of him too. Me and all my partners and him. Out in front of a hotel in LA, man. That man came pulled up on a skateboard.
On a skateboard?
On a skateboard, cuz. Man pulled up on a skateboard. Skirt! T.I., what's going on? What? And we've been cool like ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's fire. Well, I mean, somebody else you've been cool with for a while, you guys have a storied relationship, is Meek. You got this Hefe record, you know what I mean? That's already out, and
Yeah.
but the beat is hard. The trumpets, it got the Mexican.
That's
you know what I mean?
Bangladesh.
How was that? What was that vibe
Man,
like?
we had a real
mariachi.
We had a real mariachi band.
Oh, in the studio?
In the studio.
Oh, y'all niggas ain't playing. I like that.
We had a real mariachi band. Yeah.
What was the experience like? Just, I guess you guys kind of just, you guys have done a lot of records before, but just kind of locking in for this, and what was that? Was it same type of vibe?
I mean, it was real. Just we was in the studio.
Yeah, right.
We was just in the studio. We ended up working.
But I mean, chemistry-wise, because it's chemistry on the record. Like I said, y'all talking that shit though. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. I like the or else tip too. I fuck with that. But when y'all in there really talking that shit, it's like you could feel the chemistry. That's why I'm trying to get like.
I mean, man, to be honest with you, bro, man, Meek and I, man, we've known each other for over a decade now.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, Paper Trail just turned 10, and I met Meek like right when I could come out the house from house arrest before Paper Trail came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we done known each other over a decade. I mean, it's like that's like my little brother. Every time we together, we gonna be the same way. And if we happen to be doing music, you know, I'm gonna go hard as a motherfucker because I know he is too.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And this is what you get the result of that.
All right. Well, we like that record. That was one of the standout records, man.
Thank you.
We got this Light Day joint over here, and Young Messiah is actually the producer, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, my
how
son
does that
did the track for
dog, how does that feel? Like you got your
That's incredible.
That's
crazy,
dog.
I can't even hold you. That shit is incredible.
Tip, is you giving him his pub? I hope he's out here getting his pub off, Tip.
Yeah, I mean, I taught him how to do all his splits and shit.
Yeah.
He set up his publishing company, and I had to pay him. I had to pay him. He got a check. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Messiah. But how does it feel just knowing, like, that's your son, right? The oldest son, and he's in a space to where he's really out here creating. That's a fire beat though. Like that ain't no bullshit. Like,
man, my firstborn is creating and making contributions to the culture already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what the rest of them do. And also, man, Damani, he got his projects out, Amygdala.
He producing too, right?
Nah, he's not producing. He's actually a rapper.
Oh, he rapping? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the greatest thing we could actually give to the world. You know what I mean?
What is that? You mean like
the efforts of our children?
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Because everything that I'm doing right now ain't really, you ain't gonna remember what kind of jacket I got on, what kind of jewelry I'm wearing.
I'm gonna remember them diamonds. It's kind of dance a little bit. I'm gonna remember them when we leave here, but proceed.
Just small ornaments, sir. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna remember that shit, but what you will remember after I'm long gone, and man, his son went on to do this, his daughter went on to do that. Like, those things will be the things that I'll be most remembered for.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's just to keep your attention while I'm here.
Right. All right, I feel that. But you've been open on this album, right? Just about the examples that you set, for your kids and your son as a man, right? You got the Amazing Mr. Fuck Up record, Amazing Mr. F Up, and it was like you bearing, you know what I mean, where you at in your life. Like I really felt, through the bars, everything that you're kind of going through. What is that like? Just, I guess, knowing like your Tip the rapper, but like setting these examples for your children.
I think that if you only have to watch without any instruction, then I think one could gather that this is somewhat risky.
Yeah.
However, with my proper instruction, and I think that I am the only one who could say, hey, listen, man, that ain't what's up. This is the real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is this is how I felt at a moment in time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This could be just as much considered a lapse of judgment, more so than sound advice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when you have somebody who can show you both what to do and what not to do.
Right. Do you I guess talk to them, right? Like we've seen through the years, like you've had problems with the law or whatever, and having to go back and forth when you just keep it solid with them.
I keep it solid. I mean,
do they understand
what
it is?
I give them as much as they can digest at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that becomes greater and greater. The appetite or their ability to digest, I guess, how can I say, drama, becomes greater and greater as they grow older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're understanding of just me. You know what I'm saying? Because they go and they see other people's fathers, they see other people's parents.
Right.
The understanding of me, I think, allows them to kind of put a lot of it in perspective better.
Okay. All right. I like that. Now, I mean, we've watched, like I said, y'all kind of like the hood Cosbys, right? Like you got the show, you know what I'm saying? We done seen the show, and you know, you being such a tight-knit, you know, family-oriented person, like, you know, that comes through, obviously, televised and otherwise. But I know in the Seasons record, you know, that just started, like, you know, you mentioned and was open about just the, I think you said I got married, but the fame kind of fucked up my relationship.
Right.
How does that, like, when you know, how exactly does fame, because, like, we see it from the outside, but knowing, like, you know, you coming from nothing, you make this big empire, you employing people, you the nigga, you this, whatever, and it's like, you know, you have somebody that you with. What exactly is it, I guess, about fame that kind of makes relationships or marriage difficult?
Well, I mean, first of all, relationships and marriages are difficult anyway.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? You actually have to merge your thoughts, opinions, actions, desires, and discipline with another person.
Right.
You
That's
know what I'm
already tough.
saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. Right.
And so on top of that, once you throw in a bunch of, I guess, distractions, and a bunch of temptation, and a bunch of jaded opinions around you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That just makes it that much more. It makes it that much more difficult.
Right.
But I think that if you have a solid understanding of what you expect from the person you with, and they know what they can expect from you. Yeah. I think that's when, you know what I'm saying, through anything, you can get through anything.
Does the fame make it tougher, like just living? Because you live in a relationship, in a public eye relationship. It ain't just like you low or whatever the case is. It's, you know what I'm saying?
They do, like, you know what I'm saying. I ain't just got to really like be careful about the people that I have relationships with. I got to be careful about the people who may be around me that somebody could say that I have a relationship with, just because, you know, it's a noteworthy topic.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? And I mean, it makes it hard, not necessarily for us, like we might be cool, but everybody else, their perception of the situation causes us to be like, man, damn, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like,
I mean, do you see that? Like, I mean, obviously there was headlines.
People just need to mind their motherfucking business.
Right.
If that would be cool, like I think everybody would be like, would benefit from that. Everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think everything would be much better if you just mind your motherfucking business.
Yeah. But I mean, the media is going. You know what the media is going to do. Like every other week, you see the.
I'm not talking about TMZ. I'm talking about nosy motherfucking pedestrians.
Right.
Like civilians. The motherfucker whoever was recording me through a goddamn a crack in the door. Yeah. A nose ass. A male specimen.
That's crazy.
Do you hear me?
Right.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, if nose ass people just stop, you know what I'm saying, butting in, we'll be fine. Even if they don't, we'll still be fine. But
I feel that. I mean,
I'd be a tad less aggravated.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit. But I mean, I hope things is good now. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know, there's always headlines and they saying who you know, fucking around with all this type of, it's just, does that, like, as a man, does that?
Sir. This is what I will say. As long as you've known T.I. and known of T.I., all of the things you've heard me attached to, all of the trouble you've heard me get myself into. And at one time it was said, T.I. can't stay out of trouble. Yeah. Can he keep from going back to jail?
I remember.
You know, all right. Now here we are today, and what the worst thing you got on T.I.? Whether or not he's with a girl. Yeah. T.I. is progressing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I think we gotta acknowledge the fact that this is the dude we used to be dealing with. This is the things that we had to worry about, and now this is all we have left.
Right.
Who knows how good it'll be next year? You know what I'm saying?
Right, I feel that.
So let's take time to acknowledge how far T.I. has come,
progressed,
and how much we've progressed and evolved into a much better person.
Yeah. All right. No, I feel that. Well, we've evolved. We've talked about the evolution. It's been 15 years since trap music first came out.
Yeah.
And, dog, like that, we talking classic albums. There's not a lot of people that have, you could say, a classic body of work. Like obviously Urban Legend too is, you know, is up in that conversation, but.
I mean, the thing is though, you know, not for nothing, I don't want to really get, you know, pat my own back, toot my own horn and that, but arguably two or three, four classics.
Talk about it. Talk about this shit.
I mean, you know, you got the trap music, you know, that, you know, kind of, you know, set the stage for the genre. You have Urban Legend. I'm talking about that basically was the soundtrack to the era.
Yeah.
I can say. You know what I'm saying? That entire year, Urban Legend kind of dominated
the whole,
you know what I'm saying? Then you have King, you know what I'm saying, with the movie ATL, like that was also, Then, then you have a Paper Trail.
Paper Trail, damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And then like if you're like a real like hip hop historian, you can go to I'm Serious. And some people would argue that.
Right, so but when that came out, so I guess when that
a handful of classics.
Right. But when I'm Serious came out, it was received differently than when trap music, you know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you the first time I heard the tips, like I said, we was in there, I'm 29, and the first time I really heard this shit, I'm from New York. I'm a New York City kid, I'm a city kid, and I remember I bought this is probably 2003, I bought the Need for Speed. They came out with a new game. And the first track that you hear on there was 24. As soon as you put the shit in, dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Dun, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this nigga right here? I'm like, the 24 shit dropped, and I was like, nah. I had to go cop that the next day, like, yo, this T.I. dude. And after that, we heard Rubber Band Man and all that. Did you know, like, at the time, these records would be this impactful because the South wasn't getting respect at that time the same way as it is now. Did you know it was gonna impact like that? Cause that shit that hit where I was at. I'm in Queens and that shit hit my whole block. I was like, yo.
I brought it up to Queens to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, but look, man, I knew that there were lives that weren't being represented presently.
Yeah.
From the music that was out. And I guess like speaking for my generation at the time, you know, when I was 21, I knew that it was other motherfuckers 21, 4 years younger and 4 years older that had lives and lifestyles that weren't being represented.
Right.
And I felt like they lived the same lifestyle that I had been living. You know what I'm saying? So I figured if I speak on my lifestyle, it'll speak to the people who live similar lifestyles, and we'll all be represented at this point.
Yeah.
I knew that. I didn't know how many of us it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's also different, like we said, is that because I know you mentioned in a record before, I guess you used to spend the summers kind of, you know, with your pops. Your pops lived in New York. And just like I said, it's at that time, that's kind of when the shift really started happening between like, New York ain't really the same no more, and the South is emerging.
Well, you know, I was trafficking culture back and forth, man. You know what I'm saying?
Selling culture, I feel that. Hustling culture.
I was really giving it away. I wasn't even goddamn selling it. Like, I come up here and get like Ron G mixtapes, Kid Capri, Clue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get you know, different like, let me see. I know Swatch. You know, when you
the swatch
motherfuckers, and it was just different goddamn garments or clothes and shit that I'd come up here and get, like Columbia shit. You know
Columbia, you used to get the winter coat,
all that.
Right.
You know, I come back with the flag, and you know, I would also bring music from down here up there. I introduced my partners over on 93rd. I introduced them to Master P. I was the first to introduce them to Outkast.
Right.
And then other UGK. You know, 8 Ball and MJG. I put them on all that music.
Right.
That they laughed at it first.
Yeah.
By the end of the summer, you know what I'm saying, they were listening to the shit too.
Facts.
So I trafficked culture from
all
back and forth.
Right.
I brought the southern shit up here, and I took the New York shit back down there.
That's interesting. Was that struggle hard? Because, you know, there was always this perception, like, you know, we, as New York, it was like the snob elite, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the real, I remember when South started taking over, it wasn't receptive.
I never really felt like that. I always came up here and got respect for being who I was. You know, 'cause once we get past the whole dialect barrier, you know, once you get past, you think I talk country, I think you sound like a European. Okay, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. All right, so now when we get past that, you get to dig down into what type of person is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once they seen it, you know, I'm a stand-up cat, and I'm gonna fight. You know, it's gonna be a fight. So you wanna laugh? I feel disrespected.
You gonna be
we gonna
on
fight.
Yeah.
You win, that's cool. We gonna fight tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so once you establish that level of respect, then it ain't about where you from.
Yeah, respect is
It ain't
universal.
about how you
That's
sound.
Right.
It ain't about what music you listen to. It's about who you are as a person.
Right.
And so people always identify with me for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No matter where I went, I always, even if they laughed at Atlanta now, but you ain't gonna laugh at me, you know.
Yeah.
When they found, yeah, you know, y'all country nigga now, country nigga got hay hanging out their pocket, partner. I'm a city nigga. I just happen to be Southern. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we've had those discussions all over the motherfucking world.
Yeah.
With all kinds of people and from all different walks of life. And I think it's a mutual respect because they know that we come from a similar place.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta talk about one of the urban legends because, like you said, that mutual respect has always been there for me. You know, and everything you've kind of presented to the world, you know, as yourself and as bodies of music, it's always come across as authentic and real. I mean, I know in the records you had a line where it was like you was y'all had paperwork parties in jail where you know it was on the yard. You had to show their paperwork for real.
You had to show that.
I want to know this, and this is like I said, there was a time back in the day where they was trying to make claims and they was trying to say you wasn't solid with the code or whatever the case was.
Absolutely false.
Yeah.
Absolutely false.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my plea agreement is online.
Right.
The plea agreement online ain't no secret. You can pull it up.
Right.
594-58019. That's my number.
Did that ever bother you though? Cause you know, that's not, you know what I'm saying? When niggas is talking that type of talk, it's just like, yo, what? Where is this coming from? And
I can never let anybody's fantasy dictate my reality. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If I had told on somebody, they be lining up to tell y'all that I done told on them.
That's a fact. We couldn't never say who it was, but that was just.
They be calling from jail. Hey man, look, tell my cousin to tell everybody tiptoed on me.
Right.
Ain't never, what the fuck I done did time because I wouldn't tell on people.
That's a fact.
So, anyway.
All right, So look, all right, we want to get to the place, like you said, is just seeing the growth. And for me, you are one of the focal and forefront people of what Black excellence embodies, right? And us as a community kind of coming together. I mean, just even seeing you know, what you did with Houston's and being able to organize and mobilize to, you know, have demands and have them met. That's not something a lot of people, let alone rappers, can do. Where did this come from, man? Like, where did that spirit even in you come from to want to get like that?
Well, I mean, first of all, just speaking on that situation in particular, like, that didn't just come from me. You know what I'm saying? It was a group of us, and I was speaking on behalf of a collective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was other people's efforts and energy that went into that movement that, you know what I'm saying, it turned the tide just as much as my face and my abilities and the things that I did were able to do. But where it got in me, man, I just got tired of the bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it was the state of the nation. It were the things that were happening around us, the complete disregard and disrespect for the quality of our lives. Yeah. You know, just no value for our lives. You know, like Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, you know what I'm saying? Like Eric Garner, like so many, Mike Brown, you know what I'm saying, Trayvon, like so many, so much shit just kept happening over and over. Yeah. And I felt like I was compelled to do something.
So how do you, like, I know obviously one of the hot topics right now is just the NFL and, you know, what Colin Kaepernick has done to stand up. How do we, because I heard you know, took the position of, you know, that you took off from watching, I think last year.
I did.
And I did the same shit, and I was mad because nothing happened. I'm like, nigga, I just missed the whole season and shit ain't happened.
But the thing is, I actually said that I wasn't watching this summer because they said they were going to punish people for protesting. And then they retracted the rule. They said they are no longer going to punish people for protesting. Yeah. So I felt like that was, my demands were met.
I feel that. What I'm saying? So how do you, but like how, and because that's a different level, right? Like from Houston to the NFL, we talking levels. So like how do you as somebody who kind of helped mobilize, well not you, but you know what I mean.
It was us.
Us, you're right.
It was us.
So how do
that's
we?
What we got to understand, man. Right. We are the strongest, most impactful consumer base. You understand that?
Yeah.
That means that all together, if we as a people say we aren't buying any more Sprite, Sprite got to make some changes. Or else the people in position who was expecting to get their quarterly bonuses, they ain't gonna get them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they got to go home and, you know, their wife don't treat them the same.
That's a fact.
And they want their house straight. Their kids want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
So they got to come back in the office and say, hey, we got to fix this bottom line. Well, we don't know why. This particular consumer base, this demographic, they not fucking with us. Why ain't they fucking with us? Well, they say that we support somebody that doesn't support them. Well, either they have to pull their support from that somebody.
Right.
Or they have to get that somebody to fall in line with something we can accept.
Right.
That is the strength. That is the power.
Right.
Black people make less money but spend more money than everybody else. So your power is in the money that you spend. You making sacrifices to go hungry so you can wear them Jordans.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? That's a
fact.
sacrifice. So they got to be respected. So anybody you got to respect that. You go in a restaurant, man, listen. I could have went and bought me some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, man, and sat in the house and ate.
Right. But
I'm making a sacrifice to come in here and spend my bread. If you ain't gonna value the sacrifice I made to part way with my money in here, well then, man, get what, man? Me and mine, man, we just need to not spend no money here.
Facts.
And then once again, that restaurant got to go to their profit margins.
Right.
This consumer base is not fucking with us. That's hurting our profits.
But what about
make this right?
But one thing, like you say, you pushing culture, right? You up in the East Coast pushing culture, right? Like we as a people, black people, we have the coolest culture in the world, right? Like that's undisputed. But we don't own shit, bro. And it's like for me, it's like when I'm looking at like the NBA, and I remember when the Donald Sterling shit happened, and it was like the players were like thinking like, damn, are we gonna sit out? Are we gonna play? And for me, that kind of was just like, yo, the players got all this money, and nobody's coming for Donald Sterling. They coming to see LeBron. They coming to see Kobe. They coming to see whatever. How is it possible? And I needed to talk to somebody with some money and some other at the level to understand this. Is like, is that not something like that we're able to do as far as mobilizing communal money to make our own league? Like, is that far-fetched, or is that?
It's gonna take a little time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a little time, but I think every year it gets better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're just now getting ourselves to the point where we know somebody as rich as us. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. That's a fact.
Imagine if you Jay-Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you want to put a couple friends together and just start something.
Yeah.
It's just not getting to a point where it's enough people around who actually
can
in the position that he's in, and
right.
you know what I'm saying? They can. So, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It just takes some time. Like, remember, man, we were like 50 years ago, man, we were trying to figure out how to drink from the same water fountain.
Right? That's
shit.
crazy.
Like now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
crazy.
like, it takes a little more time than we're accustomed to waiting for things.
Do you see that as doable?
Everything's doable. If you put in the effort and the energy and make the sacrifices to get it done, everything's doable. It ain't gonna happen overnight.
Right.
Like right now, that's your mindset.
Yeah.
Right now, that's my mindset. But the opportunities that I have, you might not be able to take advantage of yet.
100%.
So mine give you 3, 4, 5 years, and then you'll be in a position, and I'll still be waiting.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
I'm thinking like 2 or 3, but I feel you.
Hey, man, shit.
I feel you.
Depends on the level of the opportunity. I hope you get there 2 months.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Shit. But I mean, I just think that it just takes time. It takes time for our reality to catch up with our ideas.
I like, damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. Now, another thing, I mean, obviously, you went in the whole press run last time. I think it was around May when the Ye album came out. Everybody was just asking you, like, yo, Tip, what's good with your man? Like, he out here. It seemed like that was the whole interview. It was like, what's good with your man, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, recently he came out. We saw the whole 13th Amendment. He called for abolishing it. Then he said he wanted to amend it.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's wearing the MAGA hat around. And what's just the thoughts, man? How do we, because it's starting to get to a point where it's like, dog, what's up, man? Like,
I mean, let's see here. I think Kanye he's feeling something. He's getting some kind of ideas or he's feeling something that's genuine, I believe. I believe he's feeling something genuine. But I just don't think he's articulating himself properly.
but that's dangerous though, bro.
Yeah, it is.
That's because he's like, it's not like just somebody talking on Twitter, like the little egg Twitter. This is like people. That's a dangerous thing. What do we as a community? Do we just like sit back and accept it, or we like people want some cancel them? Like, what's the?
I mean, first of all, you can't just counsel yourself out of your problem. You can't counsel people out of your problems. You know, you can't just throw stuff away. You know what I'm saying? If it's valuable. Man, Kanye is his own man. He been his own man. I mean, he has ideas and thoughts and feelings that I feel like come from a genuine place. I disagree with 90% of that shit, but a lot of it, I see where he coming from. I mean, even the slavery was a choice thing. I saw what he was trying to say.
What you think he was trying to say?
He said 400 years of slavery. He said 400. He said, but you talking 400 years of slavery? That sounds like a choice. And so, I think he feels like when slavery was abolished, we continued on with the thinking of slavery, enslaving ourselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he said it horribly.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I truly feel like that's what he meant. Just like right now when he said about the 13th Amendment. I get it. I would abolish all the whole 13th Amendment to get rid of that part, and now let's get the right one in here. Right. You see what I'm saying? I got it.
So basically rewording the 13th Amendment.
Yeah, you got, man, for real, just give people just unencumbered freedom. Yeah. And freedom ain't even nothing that you got. You don't give me freedom. God gave me freedom. Right. When God blessed me with life, I was given freedom with life. You know what I'm saying? If I let somebody take my freedom away, then that's different. Right. But can't no man give you freedom. You know what I mean? God gave you freedom. Absolutely. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's what should be on the paper. If this country is really set up to mean what they fool us to believe.
Right. I mean, I guess I understand the gist of the 13th, where it was just like, yo, you know, it says accepting punishment. So he was kind of trying to relate that to, the justice system and how it's
in prison.
Except in prison. So like prisoners is out here working for what, 8 cents, 4 cents.
The crack era, the gun laws, like all this shit is really just to get cheap labor. Yeah. Change the laws, make bullshit more illegal. If you have a same substance, cocaine, crack, same substance, except for one has baking soda in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Okay. So you had this same substance. White people, rich people, they do cocaine. You know, poor people, poverty-stricken people.
They doing crack.
They do crack. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make the crack 100 times more harsh in penalty than cocaine, which means 10 grams of crack, enough to fit in my hand. Yeah. 10 grams of crack will be charged the same as a kilo of cocaine.
It's crazy.
Just to get these people, who I would like to see enslaved anyway. I don't really believe that slavery should have been abolished. So I want to see them enslaved. So I'm going to create this, what do you call it? A fugazi.
Right. Right. You just,
I'm going to create this, and I'm going to give them 100 times more time than I'm going to give a rich white person for the same substance. So I can get them in a system that provides cheap labor for me. Right.
So the same thing with opioids, right? Like opioids is a big thing now. The laws is not.
Yeah, the laws ain't the same. Now those are addicts with a problem, and they need help.
They do need help.
Whereas the crack, the people I seen, man, I was locked up with a crack addict, a fiend, who got 30 years
for
being
using?
a habitual offender.
God,
and he had, I think he said he had residue of crack in a crack pipe. He was also
crazy.
on parole.
Right.
He had served, I think maybe 10, 12 years a time before. But
that was
nonetheless,
right.
Third strike, 30 years.
But isn't that more like on a local level, right? Like, because when we looking at, with Trayvon, right, like the stand your ground law is what was able to get George Zimmerman free, right? So it's like on a local level, is this stuff we could do to change it? Like, it just feel like we living with it, and I don't know is there any solutions or?
Man, that stand your ground law protect crazy white people from the black men that they're scared of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
So when you done been a racist, hateful motherfucker all your life, and you know what I'm saying, you get up in age and you in this same neighborhood by yourself, when you done been being mean and disrespectful to this little boy since he was 5, 6 years old.
Right.
Now he's a grown man.
He ready to,
but he might not even be on nothing.
that. Right.
But in your mind, because you know how hateful and,
You already
and
thinking
evil
that.
you've been, that's what you are. You projecting what you would do to him on what he would do to what you think he'll do to you.
Yeah.
So that invokes a certain amount of fear. And that fear is what, led to the stand your ground law.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shift gears just a little bit. We getting ready to wrap up, but I just want to know about the acting, man. Like, yo, trap niggas ain't supposed to be in Hollywood like this. Tip, that's just not the norm. I don't know.
Said no?
That's
norm?
just not the norm. Yeah,
Oh,
when I look at the spectrum of actors, it
Norm
doesn't feel like
Norm was a customer at Cheers. Who's looking for the norm?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never set out to be normal.
Yeah.
This shit was always meant to be extraordinary.
Right. So
always.
You got the Monster Hunter joint coming out?
Yeah, Monster Hunters, man. We about to start filming. I got to go to South Africa for that.
Wow. So how is it getting roles? Is it like you walk in and it's just like, damn, you're T.I., we want you for this, you good? Is that how it goes?
Sometimes.
Or does it like you got to audition and compete again?
It depends.
Tell me, what's a role that you went for that I guess you didn't get that you was like, damn, I wanted that. I ain't even gonna lie, I wanted that right there.
Barbershop.
Barbershop movie. Which character? Which
Which movie? It was the Michael Ealy's.
Oh, Michael. Damn.
Michael
Okay.
Ealy's role. Yeah.
Fire. So you went and auditioned and did the whole script and.
I did. And drumline.
Nick Cannon drumline?
Yeah. And
Wow.
drumline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
I wanted barbershop a little more than drumline though.
Wow.
Cause cute.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like that. That's dope. All right, man.
Also, I think it was a TV show one time. Remember when they were doing Rush Hour? They made a TV show out of Rush Hour?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had me, I was up for Chris Tucker's role in that.
In Rush Hour?
In the TV show though.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say you was against Chris Tucker for Rush Hour? God damn.
Nah, not the movie.
Right. Okay. That's
It's
fun.
the TV show.
Yeah, I'm on the
didn't
TV
work,
show.
though. It didn't
Yeah.
work though.
Right.
If I was on it, it would have.
All right. So there's a couple last two questions I want to ask you. You got the one song on this Dime Trap, and it asks you one question, man, and this question got me thinking, and it's what do you see when you look back at your life? And that's a real important thing, man, because at the end of the day, that's what we got. We talking legacy, we talking what you've done here, and I just want to know that from you, with all you've accomplished and the goals and everything you've become as a man. Forget the artist, just as a man. What do you see, when you look back at your life? What do you want that legacy to be?
Progress, evolution, respect, and just genuine love. That's for me.
That's it. All right. Respect that. Absolutely. All right. So my last thing is, I mentioned this to you off camera. We went to the first time I met you. We was at the Rock Nation brunch this year.
Yeah.
It was lit. I was up in there. I was in that picture with everybody was up in there. You know what I'm saying? All the Black Excellence niggas was in there.
Yeah.
I was in there in the back. You know what I mean? Holding up the Duce.
Yeah.
You signed I think it was maybe distribution or management with Rock Nation.
Man, we have
Had
a
a
very
little
healthy
partnership, a
relationship.
little-
We have a very healthy relationship.
I just want to know, like, your relationship with Hove. I always see you guys, talking
Yeah.
and very close, and
It's my
obviously
bro.
Hove is, they call you people saying you like on that, the new Hove, like you in that type of vein. So it's like, what kind of advice does he give you? Like when y'all speak, what is it like?
Man, he always just tell me to listen, you know what I'm saying, listen to my voice, you know what I'm saying, and follow my passions, because a lot of times we go searching for answers and we already have them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He kick a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He talking parables, metaphors and similes and
Right.
shit.
But I mean, as far as y'all, cause y'all came from the
And
same, y'all come from the same cloth,
he's a
right?
Man, he's a man of very, very few words. So if you can get Hove to talk,
Then it's
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Nah, but I'm saying he the homie. It's a blessing to be able to feed from the wealth of knowledge and wisdom from people like him and Puff and Russell Simmons and Jay Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
It's like it's a blessing that I'm in, such a advantageous position.
Yeah. I feel that, man, and you're doing a lot with that position, man. Well, I appreciate you
Thank you,
coming
sir.
by, dog.
Man,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate
It's a
you,
big
bro.
day. Listen, make sure y'all listen to this. Dime Trap is coming out October 5th. It's the 10th album. This is, hey, man, he's still rapping like it's, you know what I mean? You still rapping like it's early 2000s on that shit, man.
Oh, I ain't gonna let, man. The day you lay off, the day it pay off.
I feel that, man. Hey, this is another episode of Cigar Talk. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This is Najee, Rap Radar, signing out.